things I want to show you is just all right, now I need to set up a user. I need to set up a user that allows us to go through that. So last thing on that one is from the admin dashboard, go to, once again, hopefully pretty easy for everybody, go to users. And I can click just users and it takes me the same thing as all users. All right, we want to create a user. So the reason for a user is the username and password. So as a default, when you create a site like this, maybe this was just a demo, we're really big on making sample sites. You guys have probably done that a bunch before to show someone. The Richards group there is for the master demo, but if you want to make a branded one, a customized one, then when you make that and you grab that web address, you can send somebody, they will not require a username and password by default, but to create a username and password for someone, that's what this step is. They have to be a user in the system, all right? This is probably the one, the first time you do it, just follow the steps. Again, I'll just drag this over just so you know I'm following the same steps that everybody else does and that you'll have access to all the time. We go through that, add a new user on the top. All right, and you go through that. A username is required. This is one of those things that having a little spreadsheet of that, we obviously have one with you and for you, so you might end up using our spreadsheet. There's going to be a spot for username and password, there it is. What your current site is. By the way, our goal is to, I don't see any reason why it won't be, whatever the username and password was already set up on the EBC is what we'll be setting up for you on the new site. But let's just say this is a username. It does, one of the weird things about WordPress, it does require an email. It doesn't need to be sent to anybody. It doesn't even need to be sent to you. So what we usually do is whatever the name of the group is that we built the site, that test dot trg portal. I usually do the same thing and just do test at trg.com. This does not need to go anybody because I'm clicking that button right here. It's just part of WordPress and making sure everybody has their unique stuff. This also allows you to have that username and password in case somebody else on another site had some sort of username that you used. This helps us get that. We go through that, put all those things in there, username required and email required, and just change that to doesn't need to be sent an email to confirm it. That way it just is confirmed once you do that. The other thing is set up the password. So after you do that, and we go back to users, all users. There you go. You can click on that. You can see my test. This is where you add the password. A rule of thumb is, and we've learned this all through the years, is just wherever you put the username and password for your safekeeping is great. We also literally, if it's client name benefits, we generally remember that stuff, right? But we still go and type it in right here. So while you're in the system and somebody goes, hey, I need this login, or I can't remember what the password is, it's always referenced even in the site. So that way maybe you don't need to go to your spreadsheet and open it up every time. But go through that username and go through that. Now here's where it says new password generate, but I'm going to change it to whatever I would like. Maybe I change it to and as we all know, benefits is the weakest password out there, but we've all used it. It's kind of what we've done at eTechnos as well. We're going for the people to remember it and access it more than a super secure, impossible to remember site in there. So we're going to do that. Yes, I'm confirming the use of a weak password. And then I'm going to hit update. Okay, I don't need that. That's my browser asking for that. It'll update the site. If you want to give somebody an auto login for their intranet, that's a specific thing that TRG asked us about, and we want to make sure was part of the basic feature. You can see if you scroll down there you go. You see auto login link. You click on this and hit new. It's going to generate for you, and you can literally take this, copy it, and send it to a client and say, hey, if you want to have a version of this without any username and password, this is the auto login link. Send it to them, and while they're on the internet, they can click on that, and it should work just perfect for them. One of the custom features we want to include in the site.